Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
A murky, misty Monday to start off this holiday week. Over the last several days, we've had below average temperatures, on and off rain. So will the clouds and cold clear in time for Thanksgiving? Adam Caskey will have your holiday forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Amid a surging early flu season, hospitals are struggling to keep beds open for the sickest children.
The latest state data shows just 42 available pediatric ICU beds in the entire state. Here in the San Antonio region, which stretches down to the border, there are only 9. Garrett Berger explains what's behind the surge.
On Friday afternoon, Natalie Torres brought her 2-month-old daughter, Kalani, to University Hospital.
That's when I started noticing like she was trying to gasp for air, like she didn't want, like she just kept throwing up and everything.
It was a case of rhinovirus at fault. By around 3 p.m. that day, they knew she had to be admitted, but it wasn't until after 1 in the morning that they had a room for her.
We had to wait because we had to wait for discharged people because there wasn't enough rooms.
The chief medical officer for University Health says flu and RSV, a respiratory infection that hits young children particularly hard, were a significant cause of the tight situation in the hospital's pediatric ICU.
It's mostly a compromised respiratory function. They have a hard time breathing.
Flu-like illness, which include both RSV and rhinovirus, is a much larger share of healthcare visits right now than in recent years.
This is by far the earliest season on record for us.
One issue at play may be backlash from pandemic precautions. Social distancing and masks work against more than COVID. But now, people generally aren't taking those measures, and the light flu seasons we saw the previous 2 years is not happening this year.
So it is fair to believe that there is less immunity in the population.
At University Health, Dr. Alsip recommends basic precautions like hand washing and flu shots, and having a mask on hand for crowded settings. While Natalie Torres, whose daughter was released shortly after we spoke with her, says parents should take care to keep sick people away from their young ones.
Keep yourself limited to exposure to people that you know that could actually get your kids sick and all that.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
2 school districts, East Central ISD and Marble Falls ISD, now looking into allegations of racist comments or noises that were shouted at an East Central high school girls basketball player during a tournament over the weekend. Sad, heartbreaking, uncalled for. Those are some of the words in a tweet from an East Central basketball player recounting what happened during that game between East Central and Marble Falls. In the video that is now circulating around Twitter, some of what is being described as monkey calls or monkey noises could be heard as Asia Prudhomme was shooting free throws. She says she didn't really hear it at the time, but after the game, that's when she saw the video.
I wasn't really paying attention because I was always taught to ignore the stands, focus on the free throw. But after I saw the video, it really hit me in a soft spot.
We're working with the Marble Falls people, the host side of it, to handle this administratively. And they were making calls similar, noises that are offensive, and it was very unwarranted, very unneeded.
Marble Falls ISD did not respond to our request for comment, but this afternoon posted a statement on social media. It says the district does not condone any form of discrimination. They are investigating and looking at video and will interview students and others who were at that game.
Now to a possible change of leadership over at Judson ISD. The Board of Trustees there holding a special meeting tonight, right now, to discuss the resignation agreement for Dr. Jeanette Ball. Ball took over the position in 2018-2019 school year. Our John Paul Barajas has been at this meeting this afternoon. John Paul, this is all kind of confusing. We don't really know why this is being discussed. So have you learned anything from 5 o'clock?
Tim, Myro, nothing's really changed out here. The Board of Trustees are still in closed session. They have been since a little bit before 4 p.m. Some of the board members even stepped out to get a quick break, and then now they're back behind closed doors with no announcement on a decision being made on the possible resignation agreement or what exactly led us to this point, because as you mentioned, it's very confusing, the call for this meeting essentially out of the blue. Now, one Judson ISD parent told us he and other parents were caught off guard by all this, but that he wanted to be here to show support for Dr. Ball. And the meeting itself doesn't have many in attendance. Only one Judson ISD employee spoke during public comment. This is what he had to say.
I don't think I have ever worked for one that has a bigger heart for kids and staff. And unfortunately, that was her biggest asset and her biggest liability.
Now, he declined to speak to us after he wrapped up a public comment, so we still have no real idea or feel as to why the superintendent is trying to step down. Again, this meeting, this closed session, has been going on for longer than 2 hours, and at this point, we have not seen Dr. Ball here yet. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, we'll keep following it. Try to get those questions answered. Thank you, John Paul. Road rage might be the motive for an overnight shooting that sent a man to the hospital. Now police are looking for that shooter. This happened at the intersection of Roland Road and J Street around 1 this morning. That's on the east side. Officers found the victim with a gunshot wound to his back. He told them that he was shot by someone in a white truck while driving home from work. But police did not find a suspect or a crime scene. But we're told that police did get another call for a shooting in the 700 block of Chickering, where the victim said that he was with his girlfriend sitting in a car when someone in a white vehicle fired several shots, then chased the victim as he tried to get away. The investigation into this is ongoing.
New at 6, a new treatment for ALS approved by the FDA just 2 months ago is about to become available to patients this month. A lot of that funding and momentum coming from the Ice Bucket Challenge. It's a huge deal for the ALS community, but it also comes with a big drawback, the cost. A local ALS patient tells Courtney Friedman how he's advocating to make those treatments more affordable.
Juan Reyes worked hard in the U.S. Air Force, and for the past 7 years, he's worked even harder to battle ALS while advocating for new treatments.
Really what got it over the finish line was the ALS community.
And 2 months ago, the FDA finally approved the third ever treatment for ALS, a terminal disease that affects voluntary muscle movement like chewing, walking, and talking.
Riluzole and Radicava are the two current treatments for ALS. They extend life by a certain number of months. Relyvrio does the same exact thing. So the goal is to use as many of these treatments together as possible.
My months is exponentially meaningful.
But there's a caveat to the new drug, the cost. Without insurance, Riluzole costs around $20,000 to $25,000 annually. Radicava, $146,000, and Relyvrio, $158,000. Medicare covers 80% of the cost, so an ALS patient taking all three would pay close to $5,500 per month or $66,000 per year.
Unfortunately, they're having to choose between, do I pay for this medication or do I use my money to pay for a caregiver to come in my home?
Steve Morse with the ALS Association of Texas says the company making the drug is currently working with foundations and the government to lower costs. As a veteran, Juan gets these treatments at no cost through the VA and will start Relyvrio this month.
Juan is in the queue. He hasn't started it yet.
Juan and his wife and caregiver Meg believe the treatments are working and are fighting now to make them more affordable for everyone else.
We cherish every moment that we can have with our loved ones.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at traffic out there during the 6 o'clock commute. Of course, the road's wet. The picture here is fuzzy, but we have a problem to talk about. All those flashing lights here at I-37 and Houston. There was an accident blocking several lanes here. This is the northbound lanes of 37 between Nolan and Brooklyn. There are at least 2 lanes blocked off, possibly 3. You can see some traffic creeping through there in the far lane, but I-37 between Nolan and Brooklyn in the northbound lanes, very slow going because of this accident.
New at 6. In tough economic times, the generosity of others takes on even greater value at events like today's Thanksgiving in the Barrio. Now in its 13th year, Jesse Delgado says the West Side tradition is rooted in an area with one of the highest poverty levels in the city.
Got some good stuff there.
Families got all the fixings they'd need and vouchers to buy the turkeys of their choice for each to enjoy their own Thanksgiving in the barrio.
Primos, primas come over, the family starts cooking together, and bringing family together.
Just like his father, the late labor leader Jaime Martinez had wanted when he founded the event. Immaculate Conception Church is the site for Thanksgiving in the barrio for a reason.
This isn't his neighborhood. This is where he grew up, where he came to church. I think he would be very happy to see the young people giving back and giving of their time. In the rain too, right?
Even dancing. First-time volunteer Sarah Tijerina, like the others, was unfazed by the dreary cold.
I think when you have community, you know it's important to go out and serve.
Especially now, helping those who can least afford the high cost of inflation.
There's not a better place that's a greater need in the heart of the West Side.
Organizers say inflation even made feeding 200 fewer families more expensive and a lot harder to raise funds.
And even business owners that I talked to said, Ernest, we can't give as much as we've given in the past, or couldn't give it all.
Until others, he says, came through at the 11th hour.
But I'll take the 11th hour because it was a beautiful day for the families today.
It's just an incredible thing, and God bless everyone that's doing this. Thank you.
On the West Side, Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Something to warm up the spirits on this cold day. What an unusual day for us. Not only this cold, but wet from start to finish. It's been soggy, Adam.
Yeah, soggy out there today, and those clouds dropped a little over 1/4 of an inch officially at the airport in town, so it's nice to see that kind of accumulation out there. Here's the big picture right now, and this is just widely scattered, widely separated, light to moderate rainfall across our area, and you put it into motion, it's really just gradually moving from the southwest to the northeast. We'll take a closer look at this in just a moment. But as we go through the rest of the evening, I still anticipate some of the scattered activity through about 9-10 o'clock, and then just a little bit of random dampness the rest of the night with some patchy fog as well. Temperatures not changing much. We're in the mid-40s now. That's where we're going to stay. There will be a warming trend as we head toward Thanksgiving. We'll talk about how warm we'll get then, how long that lasts, and more rain chances ahead in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. You might have been hearing about FTX. The cryptocurrency exchange collapsed seemingly overnight and now allegedly owes investors more than $1 billion. This is a dramatic saga to follow, and perhaps making it even more confusing is just the idea of cryptocurrency in general.
Then people started using it, and people started realizing it was a valid way of doing it, and then it started getting more and more traction.
So what is cryptocurrency? What gives it value? That's what we're breaking down today. KSAT Explains is coming up at 6:30.
But first, happening around Texas today, the highest court in the land dismissing a challenge to Texas state legislative maps that critics say intentionally dilute minority voting power and created an illegal racial gerrymander. State Senate District 10 is at the center of that dispute. That's up in Fort Worth. Challengers say the map was redrawn so it would be more Republican. A panel of judges on a district court say the challengers had no evidence to support their claims. Voting rights groups wanted the Supreme Court to take up the case.
I'm Stefania Jimenez, and tonight on the Night Beat, a push to change the face of law enforcement.
The reality is it's a profession that was built by and for men.
But even in 2022, women are still trying to break the so-called glass ceiling at Texas DPS. The benefits of adding more high-ranking women.
I just see this memorial scholarship is basically an extension of McKenna.
We're also going to discuss a special tribute to a Uvalde victim. We're going to discuss who's going to benefit from McKenna Elrod's legacy. We'll see you for these stories and a lot more tonight on the Night Beat.
All right, thanks, Stefania. Let's talk about the weather out there. What a day it has been. How long is it going to be here?
It's one of those things. We need the rain. It's good to see rain.
We do, yes.
But all these cloudy days just strung together. We're not used to that. Psychologically it can mess with us a little bit, and it's hard to get up and get going and get that motivation for the day. There is some sunshine in the forecast. That's just not until this weekend. Between now and then, some more rain to talk about. Let's get right to the radar screen currently. And you'll see this widely separated activity across our area, Bexar County, some surrounding counties, and especially as you head east along the coastal plain and closer to the Gulf coastline. This has been coming and going all day today, overperforming a little bit, meaning giving us a little more actual actual rainfall than we anticipated, which I never complain about when we're in drought around here. And this is the latest look. You go east of town, Lavaca County, Gonzales County. This is just passing, hit or miss, spaced out. You get a quick little shower. You can hear it outside briefly, and then it's gone. But about 20-30 minutes later, you can see another one. See moving through Hallettsville at the moment. Even down into DeWitt County, similar situation. And I think the showers east of San Antonio here, basically between I-10 and I-37, will be lasting a little bit longer than what we'll have locally in and around San Antonio. Some more moderate areas of rain indicated by these yellow colors here. This next one on its track toward Poth and Falls City within the next 30 minutes or so, as it heads out of Atascosa County. You go west of San Antonio, really not a whole lot out there. These are generally developing in Medina County and Frio County, and then heading off to the northeast. And we've had some embedded pockets of more moderate rain, even just one that moved through Timberwood Park. But overall, not a whole lot in terms of coverage at one given time. So scattered in nature, and I anticipate very similar conditions as we get on into tomorrow as well. Let's go to the far west side and northwest side. Leon Valley up to the medical center. This light to dark green just indicates that quick passing light shower, a few hundredths of an inch, and that's about it. In terms of accumulations, we did pick up 0.3, so 0.3 of an inch at the airport in town. Now let's take a look at our futurecast, and I like this particular computer model. I think it's just better in terms of handling the situation right now and as we get into tomorrow. Notice 4 a.m. I do think a lot of that rain will taper off tonight, but then 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, we start to see more of these little widely separated light showers, some pockets of moderate rain just coming and going randomly across Bexar County and surrounding counties as well, especially farther to the east, closer to the Gulf Coast. Little more persistence there. Also, even if you're not getting hit by rain, you'll likely have some dampness in the form of morning fog tomorrow. But notice even through the noon hour, just some hit or miss light showers, widely separated, tapering off for the second half of the day. But the low clouds, they're going to linger. And I don't think we'll see sunshine really until we get into this weekend. Here's the setup. We've got this little dip in the upper level flow off to the north of us. That's helping out, but it's not the main factor that's causing this rain. We have some of that moisture overrunning up and over the cold air at the ground, and a little bit of a jet stream or jet streak overhead helping to generate that lift. What we're watching for our next system, our Thanksgiving system, where still it's shrouded in a lot of uncertainty because it's still over basically the ocean near Alaska. It's over the open water, and it's got a lot of distance to travel before it can make it here. We have to get more direct measurements of it, get it into the models to get a better idea. But right now, we're thinking that 40% chance tomorrow, 20% Wednesday. Thanksgiving, it'll be warmer, but we'll also have that 40% chance, so scattered areas of rain. Friday is a little more uncertain in terms of those rain chances. I think that's going to end up being an all or nothing day. But right now, I think odds are going to favor it being a little more of an all day in terms of rainfall. So it wouldn't surprise me if over the next few days we raise those chances a bit. Temperatures, 46 was our high temperature today. That's the best we could do. Tomorrow will be a little bit warmer at 54. Then by Wednesday, 61. Thursday, hey, Thanksgiving, 68. But with it will be some areas of rain. And then there's that sunshine by this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Sunshine in sight. Thanks, Adam.
All right, Greg, the UTSA Roadrunners looking to make a little program history.
You know, under Jeff Traylor, they've done a lot of that already, but they have one more they can do, in fact, coming up this Saturday. When we come back, we'll let you know what that first would be. And how about a World Cup watch party right here in San Antonio, Texas? Coming up. Oh, good, we're back. UTSA Roadrunners have earned the right to host their second straight Conference USA Championship game in the Alamo Dome on December the 2nd after they roughed up Rice in Houston on Saturday on a cold, rainy day. Quarterback Frank Harris was a superstar, accounting for 5 touchdowns with 2 in the air, with 103 yards passing and 3 more on the ground, with 124 yards rushing, including this 63-yard carry to get the game started with a 41-7 route. As a result, Roadrunners are now Conference USA regular season champs. Will try and do something never done before, go undefeated in league play when they host UTEP in the Dome this Saturday. And now in the coaches poll have finally gotten into the top 25.
I'm going to surprise y'all because I know I'm a big don't eat the cheese guy, right? And don't really like to talk about that stuff. But I think our kids can handle that now. I think we're used to it. and I think we expect it. And I think it's something that we can use to motivate a little bit. I know it's great for recruiting. It's great for boosters. It's great for national publicity. And we've been hunted, and the target has been on our back for a long time now. So I don't think we're sneaking up on anybody anymore. I think everybody's tired of the road runners. So I'm all about it, man. I'm excited.
All right, kickoff in the Dome to complete the regular season will be at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. That was the moment the University of the Incarnate Word found out they were the 7th-seeded team in the FBS playoffs, earning the first-round bye. We were there for the watch party after the Cardinals secured their second straight Southland Conference title with a 66-7 victory against Northwestern State to finish the regular season 10-1. The Cardinals know how important that bye week is.
That's why you play for that top 8 seed, so you can get some rest and also kind of get an extra week to prepare, mentally and physically. So definitely very important, and that's something that we were talking about in the back half of the season, that we had to take care of our job so we can put ourselves in a good position come playoff time.
The Cardinals will host the winner of Elon and Furman in the second round of Benson Stadium on December the 3rd. Congratulations also go out as well to the Trinity Tigers, who won their first playoff game since 2002. On Saturday, the Tigers rallied in the second half to defeat Hardin-Simmons 14-7 in the first round of the Division III playoffs. Next up, the defending national champions Mary Hardin-Baylor in the second round, who beat Trinity in the first round last year. This was a scene at Smoke Barbecue and Sky Bar downtown today as the Crocketeers, who cheer on local soccer, San Antonio FC, gathered for a watch party today to watch USA take on Wales in the opening match of the World Cup.
To have this amount of people here to root for our home team, the U.S., it's fantastic.
Us as a city, us as a nation, we need to represent. The World Cup comes every so often. We didn't make it 4 years ago. We're here today. Get out, take some time off of work, go watch a game, get into it, cheer, be excited. Let this bring us together.
All right, Team USA took on Wales this afternoon in their first Group B match. The Americans struck first in the 36th minute, Christian, 1 p.m. And we know a special person on our production staff will be watching that very intently.
Yes, he will.
Mr. Will, yes.
Thanks, Greg.
We have been hearing an awful lot about cryptocurrency over the last couple of weeks, but a lot of people still don't understand what it is or how it works. I get that. So that's what we're talking about in a KSAT Explain, still to come.
We'll be right back.